Okay, so problem number 3, using the distributive property, what is the solution of 3 times the quantity t plus 1 minus 4t is greater or equal to negative 5? Okay, so just like in, again, equal sign, if you go back to what we know, we've done these problems. Okay, you've shown you can do them. Now it's just a matter of applying it with a different sign. Okay, so really don't really get scared about this. You can imagine this is that line that we drew down the middle of the equal sign. We still have to abide by those rules. So the first thing I see is a quantity, and I got to distribute to get this t out of there. Okay, I got 4t over here, I got a t inside, which I can't just pull it out. I have to distribute this quantity first. Okay, so I have now 3t plus 3, and then I subtract the 4t. So just on this side now, step 2, I'm going to simplify. Now we talked about this in about 5 steps. Okay, I'm going to simplify. Well, I have 3 t's, I take away 4. That means I actually have now a negative t. I have a plus 3. And again, I haven't touched that other side, so that stays the same. And I haven't touched the sign. Well, now I need to subtract 3. So I'm right back to that last problem we did in here. And I have negative t is greater than or equal to, and now over here I have negative 8. Now be cautious here, this is where a lot of mistakes occur. Okay, we put 2 down or something like that. I subtracted 3 to both sides. Now like always, I do not want to solve for negative t. So that means I have to multiply or divide by negative 1 to both sides. When I multiply or divide by a negative, the sign flips. So now I have 8 on this side I have a positive t. So my t is less than or equal to 8. Okay, go ahead and do the check on that. Pick a number that's less than 8 and then plug and chug into the original. Okay, plug and chug into the original. Make sure that you're getting that to work out. Okay, so just plug in your t and then simplify down, and this side should be greater than negative 5. And I'll check that part of your notes. Okay, so let's look at another problem here, solving with variables on both sides. So we did this in equals as well. So same thing. I take the 6n minus 1, 3n plus 8, and I ask the question, can I simplify this left side? Well, no. Can I simplify this right side? Can't do that either. So now, just like we did before, I need to get these variables on the same side and these constants on the same side. So I feel like it's going to be easier for me to subtract 3n. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, and again, you know that because this one's larger. Well, now I have 3n minus 1 is still greater than now a positive 8. So I need to get the constants to one side. So I got the variables to 1, now I got to get the constants. So I add 1 to both sides, and I get 3n is greater than 9. Now I want to solve for this variable, so I have to divide by 3. So when I divide by 3, I get n is greater than, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So notice I did not divide by negative, so the sign stayed the same all the way through. And there would be my answer. Okay, and again, I want you to go up here, pick a number that's bigger than 3, and plug it into this original. And I want to see your check when you come in. Okay, so let's look at some of these problems. These are special solutions that we have. Now we've seen these with equals as well, but these are a little bit different, so you have to really pay attention, not just write down stuff that you're not quite sure on. Okay, so the first thing I notice is I got variables on both sides, so I'm going to have to get those to one side. But I also know I have grouping symbols, so the first thing I have to do is distribute this 2. So everything stays the same on the left side. It's just over here I now have 10 minus 8a. Now you're going to notice, hey, these look exactly the same, but really I want to do some work before I start jumping to any conclusions. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 8a to both sides. And I always like to work the variables first. You don't have to, you can work with the number. But I find it just seems easier to me to go ahead and do that. Well, over here I have 10 is greater than, okay, these cancel, then we have 10 is greater than or equal to 10. Now when you look at this, it's or, so is 10 greater than 10? No. Okay, but is 10 equal to 10? Well, that part, yes. So because that is a true statement, this is all solutions. Okay, this is an all solutions. Doesn't have to be greater than, but it was the equal to part. So that makes it true, and it's always true, so therefore it's all solutions. Okay, so let's look at this one down here. I have 6m minus 5 is greater than 7m plus 7 minus m. Well, I don't have grouping symbols, but I do have variables on the same side, so I want to simplify that first. So I have 7m, I take away 1m, I now have 6m. Okay, and that's still plus the 7. Over here I have 6m minus 5. Now here's where a lot of mistakes happen. A lot of people say, oh, 6m, it's just like up here, so it's all solutions. You must work this out before you jump to conclusions. So once again, I'm going to get the variables to one side. So I'm going to subtract 6m from each side. Now when I subtract 6m, I have a negative 5 is greater than a positive 7. Okay, negative 5 greater than 7, that's not a true statement, so this one would be no solution. Now if this would have been the other way, so for example, if this would have been negative 5 is less than 7, if it would have been like this, that would have been a all solution. Okay, because that's always true. 7 is always greater than negative 5. Negative 5 is always less than 7. So that would be an all solution, but that's not what we had. Okay, we had this problem down here which said it was the other way around. Negative 5 is greater than 7, which is not true. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. And go ahead and make sure you have all those notes, and if you have any questions, Edmodo or Twitter, just let me know what you got. Alright, have a good night.